Wonderful. Okay, tēnā koutou katoa. Greetings to you all from Otatahi, Waitaha, Christchurch, Canterbury, here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. If this is the first time you have joined us, I am Suretia McLean, the Regional Rotary Public Image Coordinator, and it is really so lovely to see you here today. We are joining together today from across Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands. And on behalf of all of us, I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands on which each of us meet, live, learn, and work. I acknowledge and honor Indigenous cultures, traditions, country, iwi, and nation, and pay my respects as appropriate to elders and leaders, kaumatua and kuia, past, present, and emerging. So just a little about myself. I'm a member of Christchurch South Rotary and in the newly minted District 9999, which is now covering all of the South Island of New Zealand. So our new district started the 1st of July this year. Prior to that, I was part of District 9970, which covered the upper half of the South Island from Ashburton up West Coast all the way up to Nelson, Blenheim, Picton. I was also privileged to be the district governor in Ian Risley's year, 2017-2018. And this is my second year in the role of the Rotary Public Image Coordinator. And I'm supported by a fabulous group of assistant Rotary Public Image Coordinators. And so today's tech support are, of course, Roz and Daryl. So thank you, Roz and Daryl. So today we are looking at this really important topic of not only our Rotary logo, but how we should use it correctly. So it can also be confusing to know when we use the annual theme logo too. So remember, we want every club and every member to have a similar look and feel in our communications with the public. And it is that word consistency that we're wanting to achieve, whether we are in Christchurch, New Zealand, Adelaide in South Australia, Suva in Fiji, or Lawa Blue Mountains in New South Wales, Australia, that we build awareness and understanding of Rotary, certainly in our zone. So a little note about housekeeping. I did ask you if you wouldn't mind putting your name and district number in the chat, that will give us an attendee list. And if you can also please mute yourselves, that will be really appreciated. If you have any questions as I go through, type it in the chat box. And definitely I'll ask questions, I'll pause, and if you've got any question, raise your hand and I will get you, and you can ask your questions as we go along. This is a very informal session as such, and we want to make it as informal as we possibly can, so you feel comfortable to try and ask us these types of questions. And as I said, this is being recorded, and I will send it out to everybody who has registered, because clearly, not everybody can be here today. And so if you register, it just makes administration just that wee bit easier for me. So I can just quickly send it out to people rather than, work out who's attended, who hasn't, all of those things. Okay, so let me share my screen. So you're all comfortable, ready for this? Awesome. Okay, let me just share my screen. Okay, so hopefully you're using Rotary logos correctly. Yes, hopefully. Okay, so. Yes, awesome. Thank you for that. Let me drive this. I've also talked about this, and I will have some time at the end for some questions if you need. Okay, so let's start with some terminology. This is the Rotary logo, or what is referred to as the master brand signature. It consists of the word Rotary and the Rotary wheel. This is a master brand signature. So below the master brand signature is the simplified logo. The simplified logo doesn't have the word Rotary International in here. So there are reasons why we can use it and places where you can actually use it. And if you're doing some embroidery, etc., that's where you'd be using this type of the logo. Then also there is the mark of excellence, which is the Rotary wheel on its own. It is always used in combination with the master brand signature, and is always depicted much larger than the master brand signature. Please note that we do not offer the simplified logo as the mark of excellence. The mark of excellence always has the Rotary wheel and Rotary International in it. So these elements are the base of Rotary's visual identity. Every club, district, and program are to use this master brand signature as its visual identity. And you cannot manipulate this logo as you would not manipulate any other brand's logo. And the way I see it, just like you all have been given your names, your first name and your last name, and you certainly do not want your names to be manipulated or spelled in 10 different ways. We want to keep to what the name you've been given as your identity. Right, only Rotary International can use the master brand signature on its own. Clubs, districts, multi-districts, and zones can use the Rotary logo with their club, district, or zone name. So this applies to Rotary, Rotaract, and Interact clubs. So very simple here. So we have here the Rotary Club of Evanston, or the Rotary District 3310. We've got our zone, the Rotary Zone 8, which covers Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands. And also there's a Rotary Club, the Sunrise Kampala Rotary Club. And that has got the simplified master brand. What is the importance of using the Rotary marks correctly? But it's not just Rotary's correct branding. Correct branding is important to every global brand. Think about your own business. Does it matter that your customers can easily identify you or distinguish you from others? Of course it does. Rotary is no different. So that's why we need to have our own, use the Rotary marks. Like Coca-Cola, like McDonald's, like Nike, like UNICEF, we must protect our name and intellectual property. It is how we actually grow our organization, increase our impact, and maintain our reputation as an organization that can be trusted. Misuse of a logo just only weakens our brand. So second, when a club uses, the local club uses a master brand signature with their club's name, they get credit for the good work in the community while leveraging the power of the Rotary's global brand. So which is the credit and recognition side of things. And finally, our logo helps us tell Rotary's story in a consistent and compelling way. It is our visual identity, no matter where you are in the world. If you see a Rotary Club logo, you know that club is part of an international network of people of action. Now you see why it's important to use the Rotary logos properly. Let's talk about how Rotary's logo should be used. So there are 4 key guiding principles around the use of the logo. So the first one is this. The club or district identifier. You need to identify your club or your district. And really, the club or district identifier when using the Rotary logo, they must be aligned with the Rotary logo. So a club can use a name they're known by locally, adding the club's name above or below the master brand signature, like you see here. The layout you choose depending on how you say your club's name. So it should always, the name should always appear to the left with Rotary. So around here to the left. The end of it should line up with the right with the Y in Rotary. So and this is what you can actually get in the brand center. The position of the words and the wheel and the size are the same for every club. You can use the master brand signature or the master brand signature simplified in your logo. So if you are using, if your logo is going to be smaller than 1.25 centimeters, or if you're going to be doing embroidery, we certainly recommend that you use a simplified version because you won't be able to see those, the little words Rotary International in that small space. You can create your club logo in the logo creator in the brand center. Question for you now. Should you use the word club? Do you use the word club? If you wouldn't mind typing in the chat whether you want to like using the word club or you don't like using the word club.
No.
Find it. There it is. There.
We join causes, not clubs.
Mm-hmm. We certainly do not like using the word club. I mean, that seems to be the majority of people do not like using the word club, really. And I guess it's the way we move forward, really. And the way I see, sometimes
That's interesting.
I always say that if it's for an official reason that you need to send, and yeah, you might want to use the full name. So I belong to the Rotary Club of Christchurch South, so I always use the word Christchurch South Rotary. I don't use the word club at all, and so that's sort of the way around it. Wonderful, thank you for that. The second part, the Rotary wheel. You're not meant to obscure the Rotary wheel, use a partial wheel, manipulate the wheel, or use the wheel as an object in any way. And the mark of excellence should only be used with the master brand signature. Please do not manipulate the Rotary's logo by making it into a pancake, place it on top of an apple, or as a bike wheel or a number 0. None of those things are acceptable at all. If you're thinking, wow, I'm really, really creative, I really want to do something with our logo, with the wheel, it looks fantastic, I know what I can do. Oh, actually somebody is mute themselves. Okay, excellent. There's a bit of background noise there. So please, if you think you're being creative, super creative, yes, we love creative people in our organization. We're all different. But the short answer is no. Please do not mess with the Rotary wheel. And the long answer is absolutely not. The next one is, which is quite interesting, even though we've updated the logo, still get surprised. Do not get surprised by the number of times I've come across, and there are all sorts of wonderful things being done with the Rotary wheel. Some super creative people in our organization, that's for sure. Number 3, no images or graphics within the Rotary logo. Just like Nike wouldn't add a tree behind their tick, nor should we add anything extra to the Rotary Club logo. And finally, rule number 4, replace your heritage logos with a new refreshed logo. Quite interesting. Some of these things are still, around, and we need to actually do our best and try and replace, refresh our logos. We need to tell a consistent story of who we are as members of Rotary and what we do. This is our brand. Using the updated brand standards ensures that we actually are updated people. Hopefully none of you've got any of these old logos in your clubs. Very interesting where it crops up. Places to look out is your bulletins, club bulletins. Could be any communication, any letterheads, any banners, any types of material that you're using for publicity. Just double check that it's not the old logo, that you are using the current logo. Incorrect usage. So there's various colors, fonts, sizes, along with the alteration of the mark of excellence is a huge problem for us. There's no cohesion or unity. All of these programs are part of a larger network, but it is really, really difficult to tell where they are at. And that actually causes, all of this causes a potential member, donor, or partner to doubt if we are an organization that they can trust to join, donate money to, or partner with, because it is just a hodgepodge of things in here. We need our rules when it comes to logos, so we can share this consistent story and message. Quite often I hear about people saying it is quite difficult doing Rotary with all these rules and structures. Admittedly, yes, but there is really a need for rules and structure within the organization, and particularly when it comes to do our brand, we do need to protect our brand, and that our logo is what we need to protect, every single one of us. So you can see some of these really interesting incorrect use of logos, and one from our district as well, which I was a little bit disappointed to see. But all we can do is gently encourage clubs to try and update. Yeah, and if you are also able to do that, if you're also able to keep an eye out, if your club is using some of the retired logo, please do encourage them to update to the new logo. So this is the correct logo. Some of these at the top are examples of a club locking up the logo with a partner, event, or a project. And at the bottom are examples of the club, the district, and zone logo. So it is cohesive, it's unified, it shows Rotary's global network. So with the top here, the lockup, which you can certainly go to the brand center and do that if you've got a number of, if you do a project or you're partnering with somebody, you can certainly put their logos to the right, there next to the right of your club logo or the district logo. So here we have, since we have partnered with Toastmasters, we can certainly put the Toastmasters logo alongside alongside the district logo here. In terms of the clubs, the Interact Club, the Rotary, the club, the Rotary Club, or the zone, all of those very, very unified. If you look at it, you can see where the wheel is, you can see the word Rotary, and you can clearly see the club, the district, and the zone. And the colors are all consistent as well. Logos at a glance. So this is a resource still available in the Brand Center, and it is a 2-page, very, very useful guide for looking at the logos. So you can certainly create any of these logos in the Brand Center in a matter of minutes. And if you haven't had an opportunity to log on to the Brand Center and explore its contents, I invite you to add this to your Rotary task list for the month, for the next month, definitely. Looking at the theme logos, right? So, have you come across these logos before?
Yes.
Are you confused when you can use these? Very, very lovely looking logos there. And I know all of us, most of us are quite excited about Rotary International President Jennifer Jones's Imagine Rotary. But all of these annual theme logos are just for use internally. So it's only these logos are just for our internal processes. If these are too confusing, and I guess as our clubs, our public image chairs change, the club offices change, and secretaries change, may change each year, and they might not keep up to date with the theme logos. If it gets too confusing for you, we don't really want to make your life too hard or too time consuming. what I would just recommend is that you just stick with the official logo. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to worry too much about the theme logo. You know, as long as you've got our official logo, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly acceptable, because I can understand it is quite, you know, when we have social media pages and we have all of these theme logos, and you've got to remember, you know, end of June and 1st of July to update all of the social media pages, all of your things with the new presidential theme logos, if you're sharing things internally. So just to make your life easier, just stick with the official logo. In terms of the resources available now. So this is the new look brand center. It is much, much more improved than what we've had in the past. And it's got templates and tools to help you create your district and club logos, program event logos, social media posts, websites, business cards, event flyers, and banners. So how many of you have gone to the brand center? Lately? Anyone? No one?
Lots of yes answers in chat, Sarita.
Okay. Oh my goodness, it's quite a few. Regularly. Last week. Wonderful. No, not lately. Great. Fantastic. So it's great. So it's about accessibility as well. It's just like, you know, to make sure that we can actually go and get all of these things in a reasonable time frame too. Templates. There are a number of templates you can actually get, and with this new logo, with the new brand center now, using the customized templates to create the district logos, the club logos, and you can use it on your internal communications. Definitely very, very easy to actually go in there. And it talks about logos at a glance. It is a PDF. What I would recommend is you just download a copy of that so you can have access to that at any time. There's brand guidelines about the use of the logo. If you think you need to get somebody to create your logo and it's not sitting right or the right colors, what I would suggest is it's probably not going to be compliant. Easiest way to make sure you get a compliant logo is that you go to the brand center. So this is where you go to make your club logo. And hopefully all of you at some stage over the next week or 2 weeks or month will be able to go in here and actually try and make a logo, your club logo or your district logo or a zone logo for your use. And you can see how reasonably simple it is. In terms of other resources, this is the Rotary Zone 8 website, which is www.rotaryzone8.org. And you can certainly go in here. We've got our public image page, and you can have a look at our Rotary Public Image coordinators, and you can have our contact. You have our contact details on there as well. The other website we have also is the Rotary Oceania website, which is rotaryoceania.zone. And this is for all the, primarily for the 5 New Zealand districts, the resources in here. Some of it is similar, but there's some things in here as well, which might not be in the other one as well. Other resources that we have is, of course, the the Rotary Public Image coordinators. You've got our contact details on the Rotary Oceania Rotary Zone 8 website under public image contact details, and you can contact us any time, really. So that is pretty much it for today. I'll stop the screen share. Right, back on. Any question anyone has?
We just unmute.
Yes, you can unmute
Okay.
yourselves.
Thanks, Sarita. Sandy and I have just been through all this. Oh, Peter Redding from Rotary Club of Bendigo. One of the things I noticed, I've spent the last heaven knows how many years in graphic design and signage and what have you. One of the things that happens with some logos is often they're on a white background, but then you need them to be on a coloured background, like a picture or something like that.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be any mention of an exclusion zone around the logo. You know what I mean by that?
Can you please clarify a little bit?
An exclusion zone is an area that you don't put anything else in. In other words, you might have, what's happened here? You might have the rotary wheel, for argument's sake, but a proportion of that wheel will be taken, like I'm explaining it wrong. You'll take a section of that wheel and add it to the top and all around it, so that nothing gets in there. So that you've made a point before that showed some logos with the wheel with some stuff very close to it.
Yeah.
Right. And what I'm suggesting is that there should be what's called an exclusion zone. I'm happy talking to you about it offline if you want, Sarita, but I can give you some examples of it. But for those people, a good example of that is the Bendigo Bank here in Australia. And if you notice, their B symbol is very small compared to the total height of the sign.
There is. Thank you, Peter. Yes, it is in the brand guidelines, which a few people have said, which is great. So thank you for reminding me that there's in the resources, all of those are actually set. So very, very clear around the use of around the logo. So thank you.
The word Rotary and the wheel is a total exclusion zone.
There is, yeah. Sorry,
Bill?
The word Rotary and the wheel is a total exclusion zone. You can't have anything in front of it, or
no, you're missing the point that I'm making, mate. You can all see this. I'll give you an example. Right. There's the rotary wheel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Just it's very important. It's not round, so don't give me a hard time. Okay. This area above, let's just say the page is the total file that the logo's in, which means this area, it's good if I could do it around, this white area around it is called the exclusion zone. Okay, now there is one, I didn't realize you'd gone and changed the brand center, and I just got on it before, and on that, one of the pages got a lot of pink logos and what have you, and it's showing some lines around the logo. It picks up, I think, the O in Rotary and all that sort of thing, but it doesn't actually specify outside the logo itself.
I thought there was something on there which said that the size of a capital R was like that. Right around the logo is the exclusion area.
Yeah, well, I didn't see that, and maybe I only just had a quick look, Jeff, so I might have missed it. But
it's in that. It's definitely in that document.
Yeah.
In the logos at a glance, it does state very clearly, what the zone is. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Okay, no, it is definitely there. And we have got policies.
I'll have a look, but it's just something that I think that should be clarified a little bit better, because it just means that. So, Rita.
Yes.
The thing is, with a logo, there's one word: consistency, followed by consistency, followed by consistency. Righto, and that's the big thing that should happen. And you'll never get an argument from me about that. But I've found lots of stuff, and I mean, our own club logo was wrong, would you believe? And Sandy helped us through that process, but we've got that sorted. But anyway, I'll let it go. Yeah.
No, that's great. And I really liked what you just said about consistency. It is the consistency of our brand, and that's the logo. So if you've got to go anywhere else to create the logo, well, I'm sorry, you can't go anywhere else. Just go to the brand center and create it there, because you know it will be the right logo. Okay, so we've got two other people put their hands up. David?
Thanks, Sarita. Just around the master brand signature, I think there's still quite a bit of confusion in general from clubs and districts about the use of the master brand signature.
Mm-hmm.
It was only when I was doing some training on the brand center about three months ago that I realized that you weren't actually supposed to be using the master brand by itself.
Mm-hmm.
I see, and I'm not trying to be picky or anything, but on the new learning center that you just showed up there was a photo of someone wearing a master brand signature t-shirt with nothing else around that master brand. So I think there's still confusion with clubs and districts as to whether or not we can use the master brand, or whether we can only use it with the district or your club name underneath it. So I'd just like a bit of clarification around that, please.
Use it with the club, definitely. But if you just have the Rotary and the wheel somewhere, definitely. But you can, I would say that's what you should be using.
If you flick back to that photo on the learning center, you'll see that the lady's wearing a Rotaract with the Rotaract wheel shirt, but nothing else around it.
Okay,
David, we have a large problem with merchandise sellers not abiding by the guidelines.
That too, yes, yeah. So it is, which is unfortunate, and it is like we try, what we can do is look at things step by step, really. So Sandy, you had your hand up.
Thanks, Sarita. My question is about the use of Rotary.
Yes.
Rotary District 9800 or Rotary Club. So I'll give you an example. We've got somebody who leads our district, and instead of using the Rotary 9800 logo, which is what they're representing, they're actually using Rotary. Or you might get a club event, and it's say it is not my club's Chasnace Malvern, and I create an event, but I'm using just Rotary and the wheel. I'm not using Rotary Chasnace Malvern. My understanding is that we should be using the logo that most relates to, say, in a sense, who we are. So if we're having an event and we've got Rotary up, that the customer would not know who to contact. They'd have to go to head office to about that event, which is not correct. I should be using Chasnace Malvern. I should be using the Rotary logo that most is closest to, that actually represents the group I'm representing. If I'm representing a club, then it actually has a club. If I'm representing the district, it should definitely have the district in the logo. It should not be actually using just Rotary. Just wondering if you could sort of comment about that, because there's quite a few times where just Rotary is being used by clubs, by district governors, etc. But what should they be using? What are the guidelines around what logo do you use for what purpose?
So use your district, and so a good example is might be your club has contributed towards the like a room in a library. So it won't be called, you can't call it the Rotary room. You have to call it the Rotary, the Chedston Rotary room at that library. So you need to have your club name in there as well. So we're wanting to move away from just using the word Rotary. We want to have your club in there as well. Or if it is a district, or if it is so many clubs have contributed, then maybe the district. But sometimes the public don't know what the district actually involves. Here in our district, we've got a number of clubs contributed towards ACA for a youth hub. And so what they've done, it's called the Rotary car, and every single club's logo is on there. So my club's logo is in there. You know, it didn't really matter how much you contributed, but all of the logos are standardized. It's all on there, and it looks amazing. And I should have actually put a photo of it, but I'll try and share that in my social media if I can. Right. Does it clarify things for you, Sandy?
Sorry, I just lost my mute then. Yeah, I guess there's just something that needs to be clarified though, or communicated. Sorry, communicated. When do you actually? Who can use Rotary logo? Who can use just Rotary logo, and when would you? Because yeah, there are people who are using just Rotary, but I just think there's an opportunity to communicate that, and like give yourself credit. And use your own logo. So if you use Rotary, then Chadstone East Malvern example will not get the credit for whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it just, as I say, I've just seen people who are using just the Rotary who should be definitely using something else. But I just think there's an opportunity for learning in that regard.
Thank you there, Marilyn. She said it's only Rotary International can use the word just the Rotary, just that wheel. But for all of us, yes, it's very, very clear whether it's a club project we're doing. So our club logo should be on there. If it's a district related project, then the district definitely should be on there as well. And I guess this is just a way, for us to actually ask those questions and point these things out to the people and say, this is not quite correct. And try and enlist the help of the district public image chair or the district governor or whoever you can to try and effect some change, because our logo has been retired since 2013, and some of us are still using the old one. Some of us don't really know what to use when. I mean, one would think it'd be quite simple, but obviously it is still quite complex. Right, so Gay, you had your hand up.
Yes, thanks, Loretta. So I'm from the Claremont Club in Tasmania. We are just doing some of our Rotary parks. We've done 4 parks over the years, and they just need a bit of an upgrade. So we've got one park that's got a wheel, the Rotary wheel on it. So we've taken that down because it needs to have a repaint. So do you have the actual paint colour? Because we've got some, we're all volunteers, and one particular Rotarian has actually taken it into his shed and painted it, but it's come back and it's a different yellow to the Rotary yellow. Do you have a particular colour paint that we need to order?
Yes, there is a particular the color. Now let me because I know we painted our big Rotary wheel with
I can answer that, Sarita.
Yes, thank you, Bill.
So there it is. It actually on the brand center is the was it RGI, or the actual brand of the gold, the blue, the red, everything. It's all on the brand center.
Okay, thank you very much, Bill.
Yeah.
So, Gay, once I find the actual the color code, I can send that through to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
And we've got the different, as you know, we've got 3 different blues.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Bill, do you have your hand up still?
Yeah. So I've seen it mentioned in the chat. All the stuff that comes from RDU has Rotary and the wheel only and no club. So that's and David, someone mentioned about merchandisers selling the wrong one. Legally, they're not allowed to sell it. You've got to be licensed under RISPO to actually print any clothing. Daryl, it was Daryl, that's right. Yeah, but certainly there are merchandisers that aren't licensed under RDU that are printing.
So the Rotary International has a list of licensed vendors, and you can actually go and we are hopeful that they've actually verified that they are all compliant with our policies and procedures in terms of the brand. And so when you buy from them, then yes, at least someone has done the check that they're with their compliance side of things. Okay, David May.
Yeah, thanks very much, Sarita. Just very quickly, where 9660 is rather a large district, takes up most of northern New South Wales, and some of our clubs are very, very old. One of our clubs has a structure where a gentleman, I'm talking 50, 60 years ago, built a wheel in his garage, rotary wheel of the time, to attach to that structure. That structure now is listed under heritage order. They are not going to change that wheel, and nor should they. It's absolutely magnificent. So what's the ruling on that? I mean, you know, it's got not only community heritage, it's got Rotary heritage as well.
Okay, well, I guess with most of these things, we just have to do the best we can. But if there's a heritage order, that's it's actually a little bit above my pay grade.
Yeah, sure. No, I understand. I just wanted to put it out there because it was something that has come up a couple of times, and I noticed we've got some wonderful members from my district, and Keith Glover there too, that would understand exactly, and that's something that holds dear. And if I was to go to one of these clubs as a district governor and say to them, no, you've got to take it down and rebrand, I think I'd be hung.
David,
what about just painting it? That's got to bring it back into the master brand anyway, just the wheel by itself.
Yeah, quite possibly. I'd be hesitant. I think they would probably want to keep it to the original blue and gold paint, but we'll see. Yeah.
I mean,
David, in those situations, there's a rule called the legacy rule, which Rotary International allows for things to be caught under. So I imagine that if it's heritage listed, it would be caught. My guess is it's caught under the legacy rule.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. That's thanks, Daryl. Actually, that answers that question. Thank you.
Yeah, and I guess we just there's some things, the things around stuff on your bulletins, etc. Those are easy fixes. And we can certainly all keep an eye out on all of those, social media pages, all of those things, your banners that you're producing, any item that you're producing for sale or fundraising. Yes, we definitely have, we have a level of control over those, or you have a level of control over those. So I would urge you to exercise that control that you have. Thanks, and the voice that you have as well, because it's all of us here, it's all of us, it's a responsibility on all of us to actually point those out, because we belong to a fantastic organization, and it doesn't matter where we are, whether I'm in Christchurch or whether I'm in Tasmania or Western Australia, wherever we are. This is a fantastic organization that we're part of, and I really would like us to continue being this fantastic organization. Any other question anyone has?
There's a good question in chat about printing onto club shirts. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. We can't print.
Maren, the answer to that is if it's for your own club use and not for resale, but if you're selling them to anybody, then you have to go through the approval for the merchandise.
That's what I would have answered as well, but I wanted to make sure it was coming from the expert.
So if we want to organise shirts for ourselves, which we're actually in the process of doing, we can then organise to have them embroidered or printed if they're only used by our members.
Correct.
Great. But as long as they follow the...
Provided you got the logos right.
Yes.
As long as they're consistent.
Consistent logos, yeah. Thank you for that. Yes, yeah. Richard Byrne, you put your hand up.
I'll mute.
Yes, getting the mute. I've looked at club letterheads. I just got a couple in my desk. Even though how they send anything out on paper, but they should not. I know the one I'm looking at has got the Imagine Rotary logo on it, in addition to our normal club logo in the top right-hand corner. So basically, the Imagine Rotary should not be on it because it's going outside the club. It's not simply for internal use.
Internal Rotary.
Internal, yes, yeah. So if it's just going out, just your club logo is what's just required. Yeah.
Good. Thanks.
Yeah. And it also means you don't have to keep changing, keep printing. If you are printing stuff out on an annual basis, save that money.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. So it's amazing. I'm trying to do multitask here, but some of the answers, some of the questions have been answered in chat by people, which is fantastic. And this is what this is meant to be like. You know, we just an opportunity for all of us to share our knowledge with each other as well and ask those questions. So the idea is for this is to be as informal as possible, and you can ask all sorts of questions, and we will try. You know, we will answer. Somebody here will have those answers. Even sometimes, you know, I'm a little bit slow in getting to that.
I believe we've got all the questions in chat answered now, Sarita.
Awesome.
So it's open to anybody for any new questions.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that.
It's Narelle here from
Hello, Narelle. Oops.
Started off strong. I think she was asking, is she asking, can she have the Rotary logo and the theme logo in her signature, which I presume is yes.
Yes.
Yep. Great. You know, we take internet connection for given, don't we? Mervyn.
Yeah, I was just going to, I suppose this is a comment, perhaps rather than a question or a discussion point, regarding the use of the theme logo and the wording of the theme, you know, the actual theme. I can't see a problem if you are promoting Rotary, either at a district level or a club level, that you might choose to write an article either in your social media or your local media about, you know, the international president, the theme that president has chosen, the reasons for the theme, the particular goals, you know, focus that Rotary International is having for the year. I can't see a problem in using that theme in that way. I can see the point from, you know, of not using the theme logo just randomly on your social media or on public facing whatever's. I don't know, do other people agree with me? Or
yeah, we've already done that.
Yeah.
We did it in our paper, what the theme was with our Rotary logo, but what the theme was, and explained what the theme was.
Yes. So it's a difference between using that to actually promote Rotary in general, as opposed to just randomly putting a logo that nobody understands on your public facing material.
Yeah, definitely. It's always, it's great to be able to explain why. And, you know, it is a fantastic theme, by the way. I mean, all of the themes have been quite amazing, really. And it is how we actually use it to try and promote Rotary and the projects that we are all involved in. So if we can use that in some shape or form, yes, why not?
Can I just say something?
Yes,
with the, because Jennifer Jones is our first female RI president, the image logo, the theme logo has been advertised to the public worldwide. It's the first public, it's basically the first theme logo that's had so much attention in I think 50 years. So it's a logo that everyone is getting to know. It is promoting Rotary, and we just need to just remember that it has been advertised to the public because of Jennifer Jones. So it's not a logo that people will forget, and people will associate it with Rotary probably until the next female president.
2 years time.
It's not very far away, but the point is, it is a well-known logo at present. So, and just a comment on David Main's thing, the way around that is having a sign put outside the building saying that the Rotary logo was changed in 2023 and what the new logo looks like, and that will actually explain any confusion that there is. It has been done with other buildings across the world, so there isn't a problem with that.
Great, thank you. Jeff.
Yep, hello. Are there any particular guidelines regarding lockups? Our club in the past has been looking at having our master brand signature on the left, the right of the lineup. We were going to put our, it's a club motto, a helping hands across the land. Is there any problem with that?
Is it your club motto, is it?
Well, it's a club saying, we put it on all our, it's on our newsletter, it's on everything we produce. We've always got the master brand signature, but we like to have that on there as well.
It's fine, Jeff. I've had a look at yours, it's fine.
Okay, that's good.
Cindy.
I disagree with that.
Because it's only for projects.
Yeah, it's only projects and I think it was themes, but you can't have any other logo other than People of Action. I think to the right, and only that I've been through this with Bendigo. We end up going through AG, Pauline, as Sarita, and Sarita went to RI, but you're not allowed to have your own name to the right of the.
No, the club name is not to the right. It's the theme of the club.
Not allowed to.
No.
And the theme of the club is part of the club's theme. It's their general theme. It's actually tied up in their bylaws.
It's only events or projects.
Because that actually
projects are to be to the right. You cannot have your own logo to the right.
I was just looking at the example that you gave that we were given before, and it's got Rotaract Club of Taipei, right, Let's Fight Against Hunger, and then Everston Lighthouse, it's got Taste of Everston.
A Taste of Everston, I think that's their project that they run, or an event that they run. So that is an event. So we did go, as Sandy has rightly said. I guess that's like your club tagline, isn't it, Jeff? What you're talking about here.
Yep.
So it's gone up through to the regional leader support up in Evanston. And what they're saying is that taglines are not allowed in the club logos. It defeats the purpose of a consistent club logo. If you feel you must have a tagline, it should not be near or incorporated into their club logo.
Yeah, that's what we've done. But I just thought I'd check it.
It should be somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So I think I've got 3 minutes to go. And so let me just wrap this up and do this formally. So I guess great discussion today, everybody. So really do appreciate, sharing your knowledge with everybody and asking those questions. I encourage you to share the information that you have gathered with your members, with your club members. Ask those difficult questions. If you need assistance at any time or anything in the public image space, talk first with your district public image chair. And the Zone Public Image team is always available. As I've said, our contact details in the Rotary Zone 8 website. And you can just certainly, fire us an email, and we will answer those questions for you. We have 2 more learning sessions for this year. We have one in September. So Daryl Isipi is going to be talking about public image in your club. So when I send this recording out, I'll also send the registration link out for that as well. And I'm working on getting a presenter for the November session. So we've got a lot of really good topics planned. If you've got any topics that you want discussed in this forum, please just give us a call or put it in chat, and we will definitely try and deliver for you. Because if you're asking those questions, and I'm sure there'll be a whole lot of other members asking similar questions. So if we are able to help and support you in any shape or form, we will definitely do so. So once again, keep an eye out with the registration link. I will certainly put that in when I send the information out. Keep an eye on the Facebook pages, which is the Rotary Oceania Facebook page, the my own personal Facebook page, which is Sarita McLean Rotarian, and the regional newsletter Rotary on the Move. So we'll try and share it as many places as we can. And so hopefully you are able to register in one of those places and you can attend. And if you are not able to attend, just do register. We'll just forward you the email, forward you the recording, and you can certainly help. You can share it to clubs, members, other people. We're going to have a Vimeo account as well. So we'll try and upload all of some of these recordings on there. So there is one place for you to go and grab all the things related to public image in one spot. Equally, there'll be some things on the Rotary Zone H website as well. So we're trying to keep, bring all of those resources and keep it in a central place. So it makes it a lot easier for you all, really. So finally, thank you so much for your attention and passion. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I really look forward to catching up with you again, hopefully in September. And hopefully all going to the Zone Conference in October. If you are, we will have a booth for public image, and that I think the team, most of us, or all of us, are hoping to be there. It'd be wonderful to catch up with you in person. This thing about online, I can only do it for so long. I really want to see you in person, really. I'm looking forward to catching up with as many of you as possible over the next little while. So I'm going to stop the recording, and then I'm going to be, I'll stay behind. So if you need to chat, I will be online for a little bit, but let me turn off this recording. Thank you.